Hello and welcome to a the extra varies are just about how special this monthly announcement day is here on Weekly MTG. It's maybe the most anticipated monthly announcement day of the year because we are talking about Dominaria United. So special, even quarantine couldn't keep me away. I am not coming to you from inside Wizards of the Coast headquarters, but we are going to bring you tons and tons and tons of news about Dominaria United. We've also got a little bit to share about Jumpstart 2022 and an upcoming event we like to call Wizards Presents. We are going to get to all of that and more throughout this entire show. We have a ton to share with you, ton to talk about. We've got previews, we've got promotions, we've got a ton of cool stuff to talk about. So I'm not going to waste any of your time. We're going to jump right into it with a bit of news first on Jumpstart 2022. So Jumpstart 2022 is a highly anticipated release, and we can officially say now that it is coming out December 2nd of this year. And here's a little sneak peek at what the packaging looks like, and you can start maybe guessing what some of the themes might be. Now, a reminder that Jumpstart 2022 is an individual release. We are also doing Jumpstart packs with main booster set releases. So we're actually going to talk a little bit about the Dominaria United version of Jumpstart later in this show. But Jumpstart 2022, the full complete set is coming out December 2nd. Additionally, a little reminder that the Fortnite and Magic Secret Lair collaboration is available for pre-order today. If you head to secretlair.wizards.com, you can learn more about that drop and pre-order there. But now let's get into it. So we're going to talk Dominaria United. I am going to try to contain my excitement enough to tell you all of the things. But if the excitement spills out, just know that it's because I have been playing for a long time. And like many of you, Dominaria holds a really special place in my heart. So anytime we return to it, I'm super stoked. So we're going to start by getting some of the sort of nuts and bolts stuff out of the way. So if you tuned in early, you might have seen some of the key artwork. So let's take a look at this piece by Justina Dura, featuring Jaya, Ajani, and Teferi, who are all going to play starring roles in this set. We're going to see one of their cards later in this show. And of course, we're going to learn a little bit more about what they're all doing on Dominaria right now and what is going on behind the scenes. Next up, we have the expansion symbols. So the top row right there is for the main Dominaria United set. The one below it is the Commander Dominaria United set. And then next, let's go through a whole slide of key dates. So mark your calendars. This is what's coming up for Dominaria United. Now, as we've done for the last few sets, and especially because Dominaria United lore plays such a big part in Magic, we are going to lead with the story. So starting on August 10th, you'll be able to start reading the Dominaria United story on dailymtg.com. In there on August 16th, we're going to have a world building video where we'll talk about Dominaria in the past, present, and possibly future. And then August 18th is the big day. We will have the debut for Dominaria United with the beginning of previews alongside Wizards Presents. And we will talk a little bit more about that later in the show. We're also trying something a little bit different with Dominaria United. For the past few sets, we've done the Commander deck previews after we've finished the main set previews, but we've heard a lot of feedback that players want to learn more about those Commander decks earlier in the season. So on day 2 of previews, August 19th, we will have the full Commander deck previews. We're going to talk a little bit more about those later as well. Then previews are done by August 26th, but of course, that's only the beginning. The set will release on Magic Gathering Arena and Magic Online on September 1st. It is, as we noted, with Streets of New Capenna. we tried we were experimenting with the tabletop release first, and it was going to revert back for Dominaria United. So just a reminder that the digital release will be coming first for Dominaria United, but hot on its heels will be pre-release events September 2nd through the 8th, and that's going to include Dominaria United Jumpstart. Again, we'll talk more about that later in the show. The worldwide release and launch weekend, of course, kick off on September 9th. And then we've got game day, commander party events, and the store championship coming up throughout September and October. And we are going to talk about the promos for those sets as well. And then, of course, wouldn't be a set without all of these fine products. So you can take a look, try to guess what some of these characters are, what some of this means. The art on the collector boosters might raise a few flags for longtime fans of the game. But these are all of the products that are going to be coming out alongside Dominaria United. And we'll talk a little bit more detail about some of those later in the show. But first, the most exciting thing that probably about this entire set. There's a ton of exciting stuff, but if you're like me, just returning to the world where everything started is enough to get you excited. Super excited to return to Dominaria. But we're also celebrating the start of the 30th year of Magic the Gathering. And as such, the team here didn't just go for nostalgia. They pulled out all the stops, including one magical stop at a warehouse in the middle of Washington State, where some legends were lost. So let's take a look at a video.
Hello everyone and welcome to Magic's headquarters. We're excited to bring you the story of Magic's lost legends. At a warehouse deep in the middle of nowhere in Washington State, some long forgotten cases of Legends booster packs printed in 1994 were found. We've opened these Legends cards, and we're going to put them inside of brand new collector booster packs of Dominaria United. Legends was a big deal. It was the first series to use multicolored cards and was released in 15-card packs. How long ago was 1994? Yeah, 28 years ago, but for context, let's see how Magic has grown in the last 3 decades. The Legends expansion came out in 1994, which makes it older than Planeswalkers, Equipment, the Stack, Chandelar, Vintage. It's even older than the first ever Magic tournament.
There's such an awesome connection with Dominaria and sort of like the history of Magic, so it just feels like the perfect place for us to kick off the 30th anniversary because there's just so much like history and lore and like so much nostalgia that's wrapped up in that plane.
And so we thought, like, hey, we found these boxes of the original Legends in a warehouse, and we wanted to get them out into the world for our players to enjoy, and it really just ties right into that theme.
I started playing around the time that Revised was out, and packs of Legends were already legendary. They were scarce, they were hard to come by.
You would hear whispers of cards, like, oh, now there's gold cards in Magic, and you're like, what does that even mean?
This will only be the second Legends booster I have ever opened.
Joining me now is Matt Danner. And Matt, you were actually on the team that found these Legends cards in a warehouse, which is like so many questions. So you knew a warehouse was shutting down and there was some product in it that you had to go get. Is that right?
Yeah, so maybe not that exciting to a non-Magic player to be like, hey, get in the car with your boss and drive 3 hours out into the middle of the desert. But when you know that the place is potentially full of Magic product from the early days of Magic, you're like, yeah, okay, I'm in.
So what did you do when you realized that you had found cases of Legends boosters?
Seeing a single booster pack of a product that's 30 years old is like, that's exciting. You'll see it if you go out to shows. Seeing a sealed box is even more unreal, but seeing cases worth of Magic product from throughout the ages is unreal. It's an experience unlike any other.
I'm nervous. I don't want to handle the cards too hard. Also,
Nice, easy open.
It's a sensory experience opening a pack of Magic cards. And there's this like a very distinct, like almost chocolatey smell.
They definitely smell different than new packs.
Well, you start things off by finally learning how banding works on this rule card, which is very exciting.
I have something to say because I love kobolds. I mean, who doesn't? I think any 0 mana spells are just inherently super exciting.
Kobolds are pretty cool.
Yep, that's a 0 mana creature. Doesn't do a whole lot, but it's a kobold. It's trying its best.
Kobolds of Carekeep, the cutest, one of the cutest cards in all of Magic, like completely undeniable. No Tabernacle though.
Joining me now are Natalie Kreider and Harless Snyder, who work here at Wizards of the Coast. I want you to take us, Natalie, inside the room where the cards were actually opened, just for the kind of nerdy people like me who want to know what the process was actually like to do so.
It was a assembly row of these very passionate wizards who are opening these packs and sifting through these cards. And we are all masked up. We are all wearing gloves to preserve these cards. And it would be a matter of opening these packs, going through these cards, and then handing them to the next person. Everyone just worked so hard to make sure that everything was correct.
Yeah, incredible. Harless, can you take us through from your perspective how this whole process went?
Yeah, for me it was, hey, this is never going to happen again. Can we make sure that we actually film this incredible experience?
Yeah.
And so I really got to experience it from the perspective of watching everyone as a group open these packs.
I don't think people really understood until there was that moment where you're in the room and you see these packs and it just goes quiet.
What was the impetus for this project?
We knew that this was going to be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and we thought, what better place to do this than to kick off Magic's 30th anniversary with Dominaria United?
Yeah, such a cool connection there to go really old with the brand new.
There's still some artists who do kind of art like this, but we don't see as much of the, say, like the watercolor-esque style. And it's always some of my favorites.
I love a lot of the old, the weird art where it's not even necessarily in a real setting, it's just so abstract.
I do love like the old white mana symbols look a lot like eyeballs, and so I feel like whenever it's like double white, it's just a very intense like, I will cast this spell.
It's a frickin' tabernacle. That's pretty freaking cool. So someone here is gonna be real happy with one of these DMU collector boosters.
Holding the original is really cool, and it makes me feel like I'm 13 again.
It's crazy to see it actually come pack fresh and to hold it in my hand and be like, this is one of the cards that maybe somebody was opening it and it was just a card, but now, how long has it been? Like over 20 years later, that you know that this has stood the test of time and is still played today and is still something that people cherish. Like, that's incredible.
It is the perfect set to take cards from 1994 and actually put them into packs.
And now we get to share them with you.
Happy 30th anniversary, and I can't wait to crack some packs.
That is right. We have actual Legends cards from 1994 that are going to be showing up in Dominaria United collector boosters. Now, there are, of course, a few details. So a lot of these details and a lot of what I'm telling you right now is going to show up on dailymtg.com as soon as this stream is over. Let's go through some of them now. So these cards, we included cards of every rarity. So you can get everything from a common to a rare. There weren't any mythic rares back then. We also only had a finite number of these. We literally did find them in a warehouse. Didn't know they were there until we showed up. And so about 3% of collector boosters will have a Lost Legends card in them. And it could be almost anything. So here are some of the cards that you can open in that set. Of course, you saw in the video Tabernacle. Ari actually opened multiple Tabernacles, which was kind of wild. You can get Moat, Tetsuo Umezawa, Kobolds of Carekeep. Now, not every Legends card is going to be available as part of Lost Legends. Some we didn't open, some we didn't include. If you head to dailymtg.com when this stream is over, there will be an article about Lost Legends that will share all these details, including what is and is not going to be included in the Lost Legends promotion. But I know I am going to be looking for some of those Legends cards. It was a weird feeling to sit there and open them up and then immediately slide them over into the pile. But we had some big, just kind of opening parties that were an amazing experience in and of themselves. And you are going to get to experience some of that amazement when you get to open Lost Legends with Dominaria United. But that's not the only note we've taken from Legends. We also are using the Legends to retell stories and characters from the Legends era because the Legends set, while amazing and groundbreaking for its time, had some characters who were, let's say, really cool but underpowered. And so, as part of Dominaria United, we're going to have what's called Legends Retold Box Toppers, which is a series of 20 cards that are going to take characters from Legends and reimagine them in a modern sense. So, for example, let's say you really enjoy the character Ramirez Di Pietro from the original Legends set. Uh, it's a swarthy pirate. It's really cool. Pirates are pretty popular, but it's also, a 6 mana 4/3. Uh, what we did is we updated Ramirez Di Pietro, and you can get this version, Ramirez Di Pietro Pillager, for 2, a blue and a black, still a 4/3, legendary creature, human pirate. When it enters the battlefield, you lose 2 life and create 2 treasure tokens. And then whenever one or more pirates you control deal combat damage to a player, exile the top card of that player's library. You may cast that card for as long as it remains exiled. Now, you can get Legends Retold box toppers or in a box of any product, and they will come in foil. If you have collector boosters, they will have these in both non-foil and the foil etched version that you see on the right. There are going to be 20 of these, and we're going to take a look at 2 more. Next up is Tor Wauki. So this, I picked this one to preview because when I was younger, I had one of these from Chronicles, and I just thought this card was amazing. I was wrong. It's nostalgic, it's fun, makes me feel like I was 13, but Tor Wauki the Younger is a much better version. It is 3 black and a red for a legendary creature, human archer, still a 3/3. It's got reach, it's got lifelink. Whenever another source you control will deal non-combat damage to a player or permanent, it deals that much damage +1 to that permanent or player instead. And whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, Tor Wauki the Younger deals 2 damage to any target. The third one we're going to show off today just kind of tickles my fancy. It's Jasmine Boreal. This is just a 4/5 for 3, a white, and a green. Would be wildly outclassed these days, but it has some amazing Richard Kane Ferguson art, which made Jasmine endure a bit longer than it might have otherwise. So we've given Jasmine an upgrade, and Jasmine now comes in at 3 mana, 1, a green, and a white. For a legendary creature, human druid, it's a 2/4. But here's the nod to Jasmine's original form. It taps to add green and white, and you can spend this mana only to cast creature spells with no abilities. And then creatures you control with no abilities can't be blocked by creatures with abilities. You'll notice that these 3 are uncommons. There will be rare versions of the Legends Retold. There are 20 in total, and we will be revealing those as we hit previews later in August. Now, as promised earlier, we are going to show off a little bit about the Commander and Jumpstart offerings in this set. So let's kick things off with the Commander decks. There are 2 of them. They're going to be released alongside Dominaria United on September 9th. You'll see 2 of them here. One of them, called Painbow, is a 5-color deck led by Jared Carthalion. And Legends Legacy is a black, white, and red deck led by Dihada, Binder of Wills. And while we can't show you the cards today, we will show you the artwork for the 2 commanders that are going to lead these decks. First up, Jared Carthalion, followed by Dihada, Binder of Wills. Now, these Commander decks also, like we've done recently, will include a collector booster sample pack, which has 2 cards, one of which is going to have the stained glass treatment. So the stained glass treatment is one of the booster fun options here, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that stained glass treatment as we move through the show. But next up, let's talk about Dominaria Jumpstart. So Dominaria Jumpstart, as a reminder, is taking the place of the old theme boosters. We know people love Jumpstart, and so we're giving them a chance to play it with every major release. With Dominaria United, there will be 10 themes, and let's throw those themes up on here. So white will have Coalition Core, Coalition Legion. Blue will have Mystic Mischief and Arcane Mischief. Black will have Totally Ruthless, Totally Merciless. Red will have Ready to Charge and Ready to Attack. Green will have Beast Territory and Monster Territory. Now, each of these Jumpstart boosters will have 20 total cards in the pack. It will come with 2 foil basic lands and 2 rares, one of which is unique to the Jumpstart release and one of which comes from Dominaria United. And it will also have 1 non-foil stained glass treatment land. We are actually going to show you those lands coming right up. In fact, we're going to get to the previews right now because that's what you all came here to see. Lost Legends, obviously very exciting, but we're going to show you some of the cards from the main set as well. We're going to kick things off with something a little bit familiar. So we're returning to Dominaria. That means that you are going to see familiar places, familiar names, and it's going to feel like home. And we're kicking things off with the Buy a Box promo. Llanowar Loam Speaker. This is an elf druid, obviously hailing from Llanowar. It's a 1/3 for 1 and a green that taps to add 1 mana of any color. And then it also taps that for a target land you control to become a 3/3 elemental creature with haste until end of turn. Still a land activated only as a sorcery. And of course, this also comes in the main set, and there is an extended version found in collector boosters. Now, there's going to be a lot that is familiar in Dominaria United, but we're not coming back to the plane because everything is hunky-dory. There is some evil lurking under the surface, and if you've ever been to Dominaria, you might be able to guess what is creeping in. Our next preview card is Evolved Sleeper. So we're going to talk more about the lore of Dominaria as we get closer to the set, but if you're at all familiar with the set, you know that sleeper agents played a big role in the previous invasion of Dominaria by Phyrexia. So here we have Evolved Sleeper, a powerful 1-drop human. It's a 1/1. For a single black mana, Evolved Sleeper becomes a human cleric with base power and toughness 2/2. Not so bad. For 1 and a black, if it's a cleric, you can put a death touch counter on it, and it becomes a Phyrexian human cleric with base power and toughness 3/3. And if it's already a Phyrexian for 3 mana, you can put a +1/+1 counter on it, and then you draw a card and you lose a life. You can use, of course, that last ability as many times as you have the mana for. So we know Phyrexia is sneaking around and doing some stuff, but of course, they are going to be confronted by our heroes. And those heroes we can see on this next card, which shows the return of a beloved mechanic, Kicker. So Temporal Firestorm, 3 and 2 red. It has Kicker of 1 white and or 1 blue. So you can pay the Kicker cost when you cast a spell. It's an additional cost. And if you pay the Kicker, you get an extra ability. And this one in particular, the Kicker is showing Teferi teaming up with Jaya to battle their enemies. So this one, 3 red and red for a sorcery. Kicker 1 white and 1 blue. Choose up to X creatures and or planeswalkers you control, where X is the number of times this spell was kicked. Those permanents phase out. And then Temporal Firestorm deals 5 damage to each and each planeswalker. So this will come in the main set and with the extended version. And you may see a cycle that looks a lot like this of people teaming up. Now, of course, I promised a Planeswalker. Let's show off a Planeswalker. We're going to stick with Jaya here because Jaya is making her presence known in this set. So Jaya is a legendary Planeswalker for 2 red and red, 4 loyalty, Jaya has 4 abilities. The first one creates a 1/1 red monk creature token with prowess. The -1 exiles the top 2 cards of your library. You can choose one of them, and you may play that card this turn. For -2, you can choose target creature an opponent controls. Whenever you attack this turn, Jaya deals damage equal to the number of attacking creatures to that creature. And then the ultimate, -8, gets you that emblem on the far right. Whenever you cast a red instant or sorcery spell, copy it twice. You may choose new targets for the copy. And of course, it comes in that borderless version there in the middle with the alternate art showing Jaya doing her thing with fire. So we know Jaya is going to be intimately involved in the story. Again, tune in August 10th to learn more about exactly what she and the other heroes are battling. Now, as part of Dominaria United, as you saw on the calendar at the start of the show, we have a bunch of events, and events often come with promos. In this case, we're going to show you the game day promos and the store championship promos. Get ready for those events. So, game day promos. Let's show the first one. Touch the Spirit Realm. So this is a card from Kamigawa, Neon Dynasty. That's getting this new treatment. Then we've got Workshop War Chief. Again, another promo you can earn at game day from Streets of New Capenna with new art. And then finally, a Dominaria United card gets the promo treatment. This is a new card. This is Shivan Devastator. It costs a red and X for a creature Dragon Hydra. It has flying, it has haste, and it enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it. It's a flying fireball straight to the face that just gets to keep going. And of course, this card is in the main set as well. So we have the regular version. It is a mythic, and the extended version. Again, that extended version is available in collector boosters. The store championship also has some pretty fantastic promos. The first one for participating is Spell Pierce. Promo version of Spell Pierce with the Merfolk doing its thing. Fantastic for you Merfolk players out there. Next up, the top 8 promo. Make the top 8. Get this fancy gilded goose. It's holding a fish in its mouth for its little babies. And then finally, if you win the whole thing at your local game store, full art, textless, Omnath, Locus of Creation. Wow your friends by knowing what all the abilities do by heart. This monster elemental is yours for the taking if you win your store championship. We are going to show off some more promos in a moment, but first, we started talking about some stained glass cards, and we want to show you just a sample of those. So we are going to do stained glass basic lands. So why don't we show off the 5 stained glass basic lands here? So these are going to come in both non-foil and foil. You can get them in all kinds of packs. And then this is what the foil versions look like in real life. And again, that stained glass treatment is going to be applied to a bunch of different cards. But the basic lands are gorgeous and very shiny. Now, you're going to be able to start getting all of this at your pre-releases that kick off September 2nd. Also kicking off September 2nd is a very cool promotion. So we are starting our celebration of Magic's 30th anniversary. It's going to be a year-long celebration. We have a ton of stuff going on, including Magic 30 later this year. But as part of that promotion, we're kind of going year by year and celebrating iconic cards from Magic's history that you can get at your local game store for attending a pre-release. The first batch of 3, we're going to do 30 of these, are the ones we're about to show now. So the first one is Sarah Angel, first printed in 1993. So you'll see on there 1993. You'll have the year that it was printed. And then we have the next one, Ball Lightning. First printed in 1994. These will come in the retro frame. And then a selection of these 30 cards are going to be printed only in the language, only in a single language that isn't English, to celebrate the many languages that Magic has been printed in. So one of them is a Feinhorn Elf that no matter where you're at will come to you in German. So you will get Feinhorn Elfen, which is an elf druide. First printed in 1995 in Ice Age. We are celebrating German here with this promo Feinhorn Elf. Now, speaking of celebrating 30 years of Magic, we have a ton of stuff coming up next year. And if you're interested in learning about a lot of it, if not all of it, and everything else Wizards of the Coast is up to, then the 18th of August is going to be Wizards Presents. Wizards Presents is going to be a celebration of all things Wizards of the Coast. You'll learn about Dungeons and Dragons. You'll learn about upcoming Magic sets. Happening August 18th. This is going to lead into Dominaria United previews. There it is, August 18th. Mark your calendars now. If you're curious, if you want a little taste of kind of what we're going to be talking about, here's a timeline. We've shown this before, but we are going to fill in a lot of these blanks. What's lacrosse? What's marathon? What's marathon epilogue, netball, off-roading? All of those things will be answered and more at Wizards Presents on August 18th. It'll be available for streaming here on twitch.tv. It'll be on YouTube. It'll be streamed a lot of places, but more information on that will be coming as we get closer to the event. Okay, we have covered a ton of information here, including a promotion unlike anything we've ever done before. I have managed to get through it in half an hour, which means we do have time for Q&A. So if you have questions about anything we've announced and I'm able to answer them, go ahead and put your questions in chat. It helps if you tag @Magic. Help me see them. And I will try to answer whatever I can. And we will get back to them. Let's see. Yeah, it helps if you tag @Magic. We'll get through. So the land cycle, not showing that today. We do often show them at these pre-beats, but it is not on the docket for today. Let's see. Can you bring back up the packaging art? Sure. Let's. I'm sure producer Sean can bring back up the packaging and show that off again. So most of those are known characters. You may be wondering why they're teaming up or what they're doing together. But I'm certain theories will abound again. Question, Chromium redone as a box topper. You'll just have to wait and see. There are 20 box toppers, all based on Legends cards. 19 of them are creatures. There is one Planeswalker among them. I will give you that much. Next up, let's see. Is that braids? Might be. Sure looks a lot like braids. Are there any pre-existing cards returning in Dominaria United or any reprints, perhaps? Perhaps. Perhaps. I'll say yes. How many angels are we having on Dominaria? You'll have to wait and see. How many unique Jumpstart pack lists will there be? There will be the 10. Let's see. Do all collector booster cards come with Legends cards? Yes, we actually didn't cover this. I know this came out a little bit before, but anytime you buy a pack of Dominaria United, it will come with a legend. Collector boosters, set boosters. There is a legend in every pack. So there are tons of legends in this set, and we know that players really connect with the characters and the lore on Dominaria. And so we are making sure that anytime you open a Dominaria United pack, you get at least one legend. We had a question about what is prowess. That's a great question. So prowess is a mechanic. that whenever you cast a non-creature spell, the creature gets +1/+1. And we saw that on the token that Jaya is going to make. Where is Magic 30 info? Magic 30 info is coming. Stay tuned. We will have an update on that next week. Can you answer maybe to this question? Maybe. Will there be multicolored Jumpstart cards? You will have to wait and see. Can you confirm that the box toppers are eternal only and not standard legal? Yes, actually. So the box topper cards, if we can put those back up on the screen, any one of them, producer John, you'll notice once we get it up, anyone. You'll notice that the 3-letter code for the box toppers are down in the lower left-hand corner, DMC. So DMC is the 3-letter code for the commander release. So that'll be the same 3-letter code and the same set symbol, you'll notice, for the commander cards, for the set booster exclusive commander cards that we've done. So yes, the box toppers are eternal legal and not standard legal. Great question. Does Dominaria United story connect to the Brothers War? Another wonderful question. So Dominaria United kicks off a 4-set story arc. 810 actually is the start of an arc that you are not going to want to miss. It is going to culminate 4 sets from now, and it is going to be epic and massive, and you do not want to miss any moment of it. It's really cool. And I know what happens, and I'm not going to go any further because I'm going to give something away. But you do not want to miss it. Yes, it connects to Brothers War. Yes, it connects to the 2 sets after that as well. Let's see. How many booster boxes of Legends were cracked and opened for Lost Legends? I don't know the actual number. Even if I did, I'm not sure which. Right? But it was pallets of the stuff. We have pictures and a video of just rows and rows in this warehouse of huge boxes that were just all Legends packs. So ton of stuff. It took us days. No, actually, it took us weeks to get everything opened. So a lot is the answer. Yeah, months even. Let's see. Anything to do with Dagon? Maybe. Any info on the Brothers War you can share? I will share that there will be more information on the Brothers War on 8/18. How about that? Okay, here's a good question. What happened to the culturally inappropriate cards from the Legends boxes that were open? Surely they won't be in collector boosters. There is going to be an article on dailymtg.com that will detail cards that were and were not in the Lost Legends promotion, and some of those are related to your question. So that will be answered there. Are there Phyrexians in this set? Well, we revealed one, so yes. All right, let's see. Are the Jumpstart anime cards inspired by existing IPs or just anime art? Anime art. Which preview cards shown today are you excited for? Boy, it's hard because the Legends promotion is the thing I'm actually most excited for. I'm really tickled by Jasmine Boreal. They did a great job both making these cards that are the Legends Revisited both powerful and callbacks to their previous incarnations, which is really difficult to do when their previous incarnations sometimes charitably didn't have much going for them, but are beloved, and I'm excited to see new versions of those. Let's see. Are the stained glass basics the only art for basics? No. Are there any more single color dragons like the new Shivan? Stay tuned. What kind of gameplay and theme does the Painbow Commander deck use? You will have to tune in on 8/18 to learn more about that. We will reveal The commander, which will show all, but it is not a coincidence that it is 5 colors and named after a rainbow. So are the next 4 sets a block? No, not in the traditional sense. However, they are very interrelated, both as both for play and especially for story. I am trying to avoid all the sliver questions. You'll just have to wait and see. What was the most exciting card I opened from Legends? Boy, my opens were not exciting. I did 2 sessions where I opened cards, and honestly, the most exciting card I opened was, God, it was so not exciting that I didn't even. I don't remember. I honestly don't remember. I'd have to think about that a little bit. Because I get, so you saw me in the video. The card I was fanboying over, what that made me feel like I was 13, was Cat Warrior. A lot of Legends just has that sort of nostalgia feel for me, where it's not, where I get excited about kobolds and 2/3s with Forest Walk and just things that bring me back. Tor Wauki excites me, which is weird. So I don't know that I didn't open any tabernacles or modes. We'll put it that way. What is the difference between a box topper and a buy a box promo? Great question. So if you aren't aware, box toppers come in the box. Anytime you buy a box, you will get a box topper. The buy a box promo is a promotion through WPN local game stores, and it is subject to availability. So basically, buy a box promos are given to local game stores. They have a certain number. If you buy a box from a local game store, you may get a buy a box promo while supplies last. Box toppers are in every box. Why open the pack and put the Legends cards in collector boosters and not sell the Legends packs as they were? Because we wanted to do this cool thing where it's unexpected. The Legends Revisited promotion it gives you a sense of the flavor. There's going to be a legend in every boost. It really felt right for this set to just put them in there. It's going to be an amazing opening experience for anyone who gets that chance. When will the Dominaria United trailer be released? I don't have a date on that, actually. Is the buy a box promo standard legal? Yes, the buy a box promo is also in the main set, so it is standard legal. Continue the Praetors series within Dominaria. You'll have to tune in to see. Which boxes will the Legends Retold box toppers be in? Any box. If you buy a set booster, a draft booster box, or a collector booster box, there will have Legends Retold. Why only have the Lost Legends and collector boosters and not the draft ones and whatever, or set boosters? So it's based on the sheer number that we open. So you'll notice that only 3% of collector boosters are going to have one of these Lost Legends cards. And even though we opened a ton of Legends cards, print runs back then were nowhere near what they are today. So getting them in 3% of collector boosters was the most we could do with the number that we opened. Let's see. Will the Legends cards be put into boosters all around the world or only in North America? All around the world. Worldwide, not just US. Can you give more details on the Jumpstart pre-release? Sure. Essentially, if you play in a Dominaria United pre-release, you can also play with Jumpstart. It's one of the play options that's available. So, normally you go to a pre-release, you essentially have the one option of sealed. Sometimes you can play the commander decks as well. In this case, Jumpstart is going to be another available play option. So local stores will be able to run a variety of events using both the main set and the Jumpstart boosters. Will we see any Kabus in this set? Maybe. Can I open the Tabernacle at Pendrell Vale in the Collector Booster Box? So if you have questions about specific cards, whether or not they will be in the Lost Legends promotion, you can head to dailymtg.com when that article is active. And there will be at the bottom, first of all, there are lists of the cards that won't be in. And then there's also a searchable box at the end where you can type in specific cards and see. In this case, Tabernacle is in fact one of the cards that you can open. Will we see Karn as a creature again? You will just have to wait and see. Can I open Moat? Yes, you can open Moat. I'm excited. I own a Moat. I'd love to put another one. All right, let's see. Where is Koth? Wonderful question that I don't have an answer to. Can we throw up the Omnath art again? Sure, I bet producer Sean can throw the Omnath up again. It's really pretty. What are the chances of a Sliver Planeswalker? I would say slim. Let's see, what can I answer? Will we see Planeswalker cards with multiple subtypes? I don't have an answer for you on that today. Can you please share something cryptic about Dominaria United that you haven't told us yet that you won't get in trouble for? Let me think on that one. Will we see creatures specific to Dominaria? You can bet on it. This set is full of callbacks and things specific to Dominaria, whether it's names or creatures or especially characters. There's a big focus on legends and the characters of Dominaria, so definitely pay attention to that. Will Richard Garfield be participating in the 30th anniversary events? Yes, I believe we already announced that he would. More information on that to come soon. Is there a final secret preview you're going to show at the end of the stream? In all honesty, no. And that's because we had so many things to show that I kind of thought it would take us longer to do it. Is the stained glass treatment the special card frame treatment for the set? So yes, there are going to be more cards with the stained glass treatment in this set. How many tabernacles were open? I don't know the numbers on any of that. Do I have to throw away my Nyx lands and get the stained glass lands instead? You do not. I'm a big fan of the Nyx lands as well. These kind of had a similar feel as the Nyx lands to me. I really like them. And you know what? Why not both? Why not both? Just make another deck. Will we see the Elder Dragons again? You'll have to stay tuned. You will have to stay tuned. Which packs will contain the stained glass basic lands? You can get stained glass basic lands in any kind of pack. What are the chances of us seeing Gix? Well, I guess, not zero. Will there be old border cards? So the retro frame cards. It is not a feature of this particular set, but it's not something we're abandoning. We love the retro frame, especially as we hit 30th anniversary. So as you saw, the promos celebrating 30 years of Magic, the Sarah Angel, the Ball Lightning, and the German Feynhorn Elf did have the retro frame. There we are, producer Sean on top of it. When are we going to hear about the next unset? That is a fantastic place to plug Mark Rosewater's San Diego Comic-Con panel happening 2 days from now, where he is going to reveal more information about Unfinity. Now, if you aren't able to make that panel, one, I'm sure people from the panel will tweet a bunch of stuff about it, and whatnot online, but we will also cover everything that Mark Rosewater talked about on social media on Monday. We will go through preview cards, mechanics, anything that he reveals at San Diego Comic-Con, we reveal on Monday. Let's see, what can I answer? When will Warhammer 40,000 previews begin? In September. How do I get that awesome Sarah Angel? Attend a pre-release. So these are going to be available to local game stores. Definitely check with your local game store. Not today. They probably won't have the details today. But as you look to sign up for a pre-release, check with your local game store. A lot of questions about slivers. I'm not going to answer that one. I'm just not going to. Any BNR soon? I do not have one to announce today. All right. If I'm not answering your question, it is because I don't have an answer, not necessarily because I'm ignoring you. When are the Jumpstart Dominaria cards going to be revealed? They will be part of previews. Will Sagas return? Maybe. Please tell us anything about Explorer. Explorer, the Magic the Gathering Arena format. So Explorer is, if you didn't notice yesterday, we released some information about Explorer Anthologies 1. That is coming out next week, a week from today, actually. And I know the Arena team will be sharing more preview cards between now and next Wednesday. Any more organized play announcements for next year? Not at this time. Not at this time. Who is my favorite returning legend? Gosh, you almost got me on that one. My favorite of the ones we revealed today is Jasmine Boreal. What are you going to do in 30 years when you find a warehouse of Dominaria United collector boosters? Beam them up to our space station? I don't know. 30 years is a long time. Are there cards exclusive to the Jumpstart set? Yes, there will be cards exclusive to the Jumpstart set. Will Lost Legends cards be marked in any way as such? No, but they were printed in 1994. You will be able to tell the difference. Solkanar, yes or no? Maybe? All right, so we are nearly out of time, and most of these questions that I'm seeing now, I am either not able to answer or about what I had for lunch today. Let's see. Will we see the weather light? Maybe. All right, so we're going to end the show here. I am going to direct you to dailymtg.com, which if I missed any information that is available today, dailymtg.com is going to have it. If it's not there, that means that we are going to share that information on August 18th with Wizards Presents and the debut for Dominaria United. That is when previews will start. That is when you are going to learn everything about Dominaria United, including who made the cut, what characters are returning, and mechanics and treatments and all of that sort of stuff. In the meantime, make sure to head to dailymtg.com for more information. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next week.